is a game which in the grand scheme of things may not have too much riding on it, but it is equally clear and very visible that there is much pride around it. Chants are filling our ears, proud renditions of hymns and songs. It is the perfect soundtrack. Well, there's a real familiarity about these scenes here. The followers of one of the most formidable teams in the history of football, ensuring that, yet again, this will be an occasion for the game's ultimate glitterati. Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already. No, he wasn't being taken in by that trickery. Van der Vaart. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Some of the greatest to have...
He'll try from distance. And there's an early warning shot across the bow.
OK, it's come to nothing, but it's a warning of further threat on the break. That's positional goals, the utilisation of space.
Oh, smashing header! And another try! It's loose, and there's a race for the ball. A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
Really got in the face of his opponent to set it up. It's great grafting.
Kvaratskhelia. Anything noteworthy in the early part of the match, Jim?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up. Footballing width usually identifies with running room, and we've just seen a prime example.
Now it's Owen. Well seen, saw that coming.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Barcelona, so far, providing no real test of... Oh, shooting chance! Goal! Barcelona!
Barcelona clearly executed that with considerable confidence. It only took seconds to score once the ball was recovered.
Barcelona have penetrated for the first time.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
No, that was never going to make it. Suarez is flagged offside. Adams. Byrne kept his eye on it, and he's there. Van der Vaart. Oh, no joy this time. Well, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. Barcelona are enjoying a good spell right now and leading. He's shifting through the gears here.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
It's Bergkamp! And he comes up trumps again.
Well, look, believe me when I tell you that goalkeepers work harder than anyone else in training, and that's why, to be top class on match day, that was a majestic stop.
Here. He's had a hit! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Pedri. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. 1-0. He's had a shot! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
Well, I think the opposition was pretty sloppy in creating a problem for themselves then, but he was onto it so quickly and very nearly made them pay.
Costa Curta gathers from the goal kick. Van der Vaart. Pedri. Bergkamp providing an outlet on that flank. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Nice try, but he wasn't buying it. Owen going face to face with his great rival. And the shot! And it's in! They have come roaring back!
And it's another really good show of character. I love the spirit and togetherness they muster. Never know when they're beaten.
Terrific goal, what a super sharp finish.
Well, I think he knew all he had to do was get it under control, and it was always going to end up in the back of the net thereafter.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Look, Peter, I was on the fence before a ball was kicked, and I still haven't moved.
Keeper's not concerned by that.
Well, that was just asking too much of himself from there.
Burn. Pedri. Oh, that's a key interception. Bergkamp. Van der Vaart proves too strong. Van der Vaart. Pedri. And here's Dembele. Bergkamp. Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. Barcelona head back in at the break after a first half that has been, from a scoreline point of view in any case, an even one. Both sides have contributed in equal measure, neither looking overly under pressure from the other. And at the break, glass half full, half empty. It's 1-1. So in they come for the break with nothing to separate them. The score 1-1. There's the whistle then to start the second half. No reported change to either side during the break.
Yeah, that's top defending in preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Oh, easy pickings there. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Luis Suarez. Goalkeeper's ball. Burn. Costa Curta gets across to intercept that. Van der Vaart. And there's green grass ahead of him.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Luis Suarez. Oh, delightful ball. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. He's picked his way through. Rudiger gets it clear. And we have our very first corner. It's a mighty effort! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Mbappe is offering a right smile there.
Well, the chip pass hasn't quite come off. And the finish! Decent enough try.
That's a little unfortunate. He had a lot of people worried then.
La asistencia a este partido
Yamal
asciende a 96.629
to Machelis.
espectadores.
Oh, look at the... It's a carbon copy of the previous miss.
This is proving to be a very good spell. The intensity is great, but they've got to make it count.
Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Van der Vaart. And that has left him in a heap. And it's Owen. Wriggles his way through. He's got away. And the shot's on here. Barcelona can breathe again. Just.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
Oh, Van der Vaart! Goal! Barcelona! And they get themselves in front! Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
No other outcome there. That was bang in the corner. Unstoppable.
Barcelona get themselves into the lead. And he's certainly onside here. Oh no, he's got that wrong. Nice bit of trickery. Luis Suarez. Nicely worked.
Well, it's good stuff. This is better.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
Well, that's surely a foul. Free kick. Into the last quarter of an hour. Pedri. Yamal is in a really good position out wide.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Yeah, he's fouled him there.
Yeah, well, they were exposed and vulnerable, and he knew he had to do something to prevent a goal then.
Great chance here to level it up. Beckenbauer ready to try one. Denied by a great piece of goalkeeping.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
That is great defending, so alert. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. And here's Mbappe.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Mbappe. Well, that's been cut out, well played.
Barcelona certainly don't need to overcommit now. Their priority lies further back.
And it's Bergkamp. That's a shade optimistic. I think we're just about done here. Now it's Mbappe. Oh, he's bustling through here. It's Dembele! And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside.
Habrá 2 minutos de descuento.
2 minutes to be added on. He steps in, and that's the end of that. And there goes the final whistle. Barcelona have emerged victorious in this match of thrills. The odd goal ultimately proving the difference. Van der Vaart claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. Your reflections then, Jim?
Well, it's a performance.
Well, it is a game which in the grand scheme of things may not have too much riding on it, but it is equally clear and very visible that there is much pride around it. Chants are filling our ears, proud renditions of hymns and songs. It is the perfect soundtrack. Well, there's a real familiarity about these scenes here. The followers of one of the most formidable teams in the history of football. Ensure shapes to shoot! It's there!
Well, talk about a real rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate. On heels rather than toes. Yeah, I'd call that transition with bite. They won it back and bit hard.
El dorsal 18.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. That's a good run down the left. He is through here. Pressure. He's tried one. That's a half-decent try.
Well, that's confidence for you. Distance doesn't even bother him.
Oh, that's fabulous. Neither of these two want to come off second best.
This is the time you need that pace.
Messi. Messi! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. Yamal tries making a foray down the right. He's shifting through the gears here. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really...
Has a goal! He scores! That is remarkable! All square in a matter of moments.
Well, going behind has simply triggered a collective determination to hit back, and they merit nothing less. Well, there's always a chance of being caught like that when you surrender the football.
That has certainly made things interesting.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous time when you've just scored. You can easily lose focus and then bang, you're pegged back again.
It's one! He's done very well to get to that.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
And we have our very first corner. Barcelona have the chance. He's gone for goal! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. The defence opting here for strength in numbers. Still very early doors, but it is a closely contested affair. Mbappe. Good, strong midfield running here. Oh, he's been caught napping. He is just caressing the ball. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Great ball, and he's in here. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
Well, you could see he was eager to get a shot away, but there was too much flesh and bone in his path.
Mbappe! Ribery.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
Oh, well played. And now the breakaway. And reclaimed it in a trice. He has found a way through. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Kvaratskhelia, a player so deservedly decorated with praise and glory. And he's there to belt it away. Pirlo. And again, he's sorted that out terrifically. Dembele.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
Van der Vaart. That looks a cracking ball. Can he put it away? Goal! Barcelona! And the game is well and truly turned on its head.
Well, I think there's a few trying to claim offside, but he looks to have been on. Yeah, he was on.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang. Xabi Alonso really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped. Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Ribery. He's having a go. They've got to be quick to recover this. Oh, he's been caught on it here. Final ball not quite right, and his teammates are irritated at that. Pedri. That pass has been well intercepted. Pirlo is sporting a guilty look after that.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
And here's Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. And the first 45 minutes are up. Well, what a comeback. Certainly I didn't see that coming, nor I think did many in this crowd. The midway point of the game.
Oh, what a half. It's been pulsating and totally absorbing. We're actually headed for a potential classic if this carries on. This is insanely good.
Barcelona come in at half-time, largely satisfied with where they are. After a half which has certainly had its moments, has been lit up with some flair from time to time. The scoreline in their favour at the break, 2-1. And we are already promptly back underway. And he's managed to get free. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger.
It's the sort of situation they'll want to capitalise on now.
Oh, perfectly measured that. He's found a way through. Defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. And here's Messi. Oh, he's burst. Can he finish? It's a goal! Again, we are level. What a contest!
Oh, what a fabulous game this is. It just keeps getting better and better.
Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Well, at one stage he was being body checked, Peter, and then the next minute it's in the back of the net. That's wonderful striking.
This is quite a battle.
Yeah, it's a very good contest with two very good sides, and with such great individual talent on show, it could go either way.
Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
To Michelis. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Great ball if he can get there. And the shot! They've scored!
That looks like a preconceived plan. Win the ball and then unleash.
Gol. Marcó en el minuto 56 el dorsal 13.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up. Something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
Pirlo. Still they trail, and time is ticking away. He's gone forward. Messi going face to face with his great rival.
La asistencia a este partido asciende a
It's Ronaldinho.
96.026
Now it's Neymar. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Messi will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Now the finish! Oh, that is rather wayward.
Okay, it's come to nothing, but it's a warning of further threat on the break.
Now it's Mbappe, and that could set him on his way.
Barcelona are definitely going about this the right way.
They're coming again and again.
A lucky break would certainly help their...
Oh, what has happened here? Roberto Carlos. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho going full steam ahead down the left flank. For Xavi Alonso. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Great hit! And yes, it's there! And there's the goal they've been looking for. No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Well, he had to deal with an awful lot of unwanted attention, but his tenacity won the day.
Cambio de jugadores en el Barcelona. El dorsal
So
77.
the manager can make a change for the first time in the game here.
El dorsal 4.
So the lead now is 2.
Well, that goal should be a big game changer. It's certainly been a big mood changer.
El dorsal 17.
Oh, facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup.
El dorsal 8.
And he welcomes it in. Barcelona perhaps contemplating their next change here. Half an hour gone in the second half. Well, they've got it back in a hurry. Mohamed Salah. For Szoboszlai. Pedri going face-to-face with his great rival. Well, that is one way to stop him. And here's Mohamed Salah. Van der Vaart. Cross deflected behind for a corner.
Se va a llevar a cabo un cambio de jugadores.
Van der Vaart goes short. And now a sudden chance to counter. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Mohamed Salah. Now it's Ronaldinho. He's picked his chance!
Se va a realizar un cambio de jugadores.
It's their second corner of the game. And now they can spring out of defence. Dembele. Just 5 minutes left. He's got away. Oh, that's wonderful alertness. Keep the ball and you win the game. It really is that simple. And it's Ronaldinho. And that has left him in a heap. Now it's Mbappe. Now that's well seen too. Byrne takes control of it and he's on the move. Roberto Carlos.
Habrá
That is
4
lovely.
minutos de descuento.
4 extra minutes added on. Salah. Ronaldinho, whose purpose now is to complete a hat-trick. And it's Salah. Well seen, saw that coming. And here's Neymar. And here's Ronaldinho. And we're done. Barcelona played more than a part in what has been a very exciting game. A game that began so promisingly from their perspective, but they are leaving here feeling utterly deflated.
En el marcador se podrá ver a
How would you sum up what we've witnessed, Jim?
con las
Well,
mejores
Peter,
jugadas
I
del
really
primer
couldn't
tiempo.
see what this
Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot. Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest. A sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us. And we are glad to have you alongside us for it. It really is a sight to behold here as Spotify Camp Nou opens its arms to the Barcelona nation, 100,000 plus in unison. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. That's a lovely, neat pass. Can he finish? Well, the finish certainly didn't match the build-up.
It's easy to say it, but difficult to stop it when runs in behind are being made like that.
Barcelona with the corner, they're first. And the header! That's a half-decent try.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Pedri gathers from the goal kick. Now it's Messi. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery...
Big chance! Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge.
Well, Alessandro Nesta turns defence into an art form. If you like your defender slick and quick, this is the man.
Yeah, am I right in saying he started out as a fullback?
Yeah, I think he may have begun his career as a fullback, but he became a central colossus.
In with the challenge. And it's Del Piero. Pedri. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Shifted upfield, floated through. Shapes to shoot! Maybe goalless, but it is not without interest.
I actually think both teams are playing okay here. We've had some good attempts, although they've mounted to nothing so far.
Looks for the finish! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Kvaratskhelia. He's in plenty of space here. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution.
Ronaldinho! Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Ronaldinho clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Barcelona have the chance to go the other way. Now it's Mbappe. Oh, facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. There's the shot! Goal! Barcelona! That is how you do it! A goal to launch his new life, his new chapter. No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Such a well-worked finish. It looked like he was going to be shut down, but he thrives in situations like that.
So we have our breakthrough.
Yeah, it's rare that one is enough, though, Peter. I get the feeling they'll be wanting another as soon as possible.
Getting on for a third of the way through the game. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. And he's managed to get free. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. That looks a good ball through. Rijkaard cuts out the pass. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. To Michelis. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. And the score is 1-0. Looking tidy in possession here. Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Mbappe. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Taken off it pretty forcefully.
Barcelona can certainly afford to see this half out now and reset during the break.
Well, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. We've got 5 minutes till half-time.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover. Barcelona couldn't really be more watertight in midfield. Not a trickle is getting through.
And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Nicely spread. Yamal. And he's had a hit! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Kvaratskhelia. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. Van der Vaart. Ruben Neves makes the interception. And that is going to be the final action of the first half. So the end of the first half, both teams have had their moments. There's been no shortage of talking points, but there has been just one goal, and that is the state of it at the break. 1-0.
Yeah, I like the fact that there was a genuine flow to this game, as well as intent. But I can't help feeling that their efforts deserved that little bit more.
Barcelona lead by 1-0 at half-time. It's been a good display from them so far. A stable start to the game, and they are in a goodish place. First half is behind us, and the score is currently 1-0. Hostilities have resumed at the start of the second half.
Barcelona definitely want to carry on in a similar manner, although I would exercise some caution, Peter. You wouldn't want to leave yourself open in the early...
Oh, shooting chance! Really well taken goal. They are right back in business.
And it's another really good show of character. I love the spirit and togetherness they muster. Never know when they're beaten. Barcelona really were asking for trouble there by failing to cope with a formidable press.
That has certainly made things interesting.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Pedri. Now Byrne. Kvaratskhelia. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Goes forward. Yamal. Van der Vaart. Aims beyond the defence. Well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Decent hit! It's loose now and they want to get it back. And nicely intercepted. Pedri. He's going for goal! That was superb goalkeeping!
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
No, he's just misjudged that one. Kvaratskhelia. So we've reached the hour mark. Pedri. Van der Vaart. Yamal. Yamal will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Now it's Del Piero. De Michelis wins the duel this time. Dembele. De Jong. And here's Dembele. Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia! Oh, nice. Just not quite.
He actually looks pretty annoyed with himself there. He's usually better than that.
Byrne. Pressing high and with purpose. Kvaratskhelia. It's Pedri. And Kvaratskhelia. And smartly reclaimed. And the shots! Oh, denied! Brilliantly!
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Oh, that's well spotted. Mbappe is sporting a guilty look after that.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less. Lamine Yamal really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Almost 75 minutes on the clock now. Nice sequence of passes, this. Pedri. Mbappe. De Jong.
Barcelona showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources now.
That is a brilliant interception. Oh, perfectly measured that. And this is Ronaldinho. And the shot! Pedri. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
And it's played forward. And he cuts out the supply. Pedri. Neither of these two want to come off second best. That has not gone well. Bops him off it and wins back the ball. Threads one in. Ronaldinho. They're urging him to shoot. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Barcelona can now introduce the first of their substitutes. And he's there to retrieve it. And it's Salah. Oh, he's found support out wide. Rummenigge touches it back. Oh, good-looking ball.
You wonder if that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
Doué. And we're done. A good watch, a really good watch. Both sides toiling to try and outbeat,
Sorry,
outsmart
chat.
each other.
I let y'all boys down.
And they're all scoring.
We'll win the next one.
How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Well, neither side could get over the line here. Perhaps one team might be happier, but at the final reckoning, it's honours even and no complaints.
My thanks to Jim. We both wish you a very good evening. Well, hello and welcome one and all. It's a pleasure to have you with us. As you can see, we are all set. The game should be a truly entertaining one, whichever side of it you find yourself on. We have a grand mass of noise and colour, and the juices are flowing. The Arena MRV, built here in the California district of Belo Horizonte, varying degrees of translucency in its outer skin, symbolising the colours of its owners. And already we're underway here. Pass is just off target. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Oh, now this is interesting, and the referee has pointed to the spot. And that really is the last thing they wanted to do. To get them off and running. And he's buried it! 1-0! A time for a cool head, and that is precisely what he showed.
Should we have ever doubted him? Cool as you like.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Ball is over the line. Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia going face-to-face with his great rival.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Kaka. He's a sharp little ball here. Header! He will be livid with himself.
Victoria just served up a reminder of how good they can be on the break. Their method is clear.
Mbappe. Costa Curta cuts out the pass. Neither of these two want to come off second best.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Nicely weighted ball. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. He has found the way through. Lovely bit of skill.